is a world of youth and image. Using a donor is still very taboo.
An egg donor is a woman who gives her eggs to another woman for the purpose of helping her have a baby.
Looking for a donor online felt like a dating website.
Her complexion isn't that dark. Her egg and your DNA, it'll offset, it won't be as dark.
Some of the highest prices I've seen for egg donors have been over 100,000.
There are a number of countries in Europe and around the world where egg donation is completely banned. Germany is one, Switzerland, Turkey.
I don't find it realistic, a country in Europe saying we don't allow egg donation when the couple can just go to another nearby country and just do it anyway.
This is what the desire for a child does. The law does not permit you to do it. You find a way to do it.
There are huge amounts of money at stake. Are these treatments in the best interests of the patients and donors?
We have our first egg.
Tiny little baby.
Ultimately, what is it that makes us who we are? I am a donor-conceived person, but that's not the only thing I am.
This is a fertility fair. Exhibitors include doctors, lawyers, nutritionists, and experts on egg donation. As birth rates in developed countries have crashed, and women choose to have children later in life, there is an increasing demand for egg donors.
Women are made to have babies ideally between the ages of 15 and 21. Gynecologists, we've done a great job of telling people how not to get pregnant. Contraception, we're spectacular. But in as much as what's required for conception and the limitations of your reproductive lifespan, we've failed miserably. Every week in my office, there are several women, highly functioning, educated, who are completely disarmed and discombobulated, to find out they missed their boat.
The average girl is born with about 2 or 3 million eggs, and eggs are just dying. As soon as she's born, hundreds and hundreds of eggs are being lost every month and every year just from the aging process. So by the time the average girl is 12 or 13, she has between 200 and 400,000 eggs. By the time the average woman gets to 37, she has about 25,000 eggs left. In fact, very few people understand that there's no such thing as 100%. For a young couple in their 20s, the chance of getting pregnant per cycle is about 25%, so that's the best that nature can do.
New technologies have revolutionized fertility treatments. It's now possible to freeze and ship donor eggs anywhere in the world. Thanks to vitrification or flash freezing, eggs can be frozen, stored, and used for decades. These breakthroughs have given rise to egg donor banks that procure and store eggs for individuals needing assistance in having a child.
We have our first egg.
Everything fertilized?
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. That's great. Freeze
Those two.
Out to the wrist. Yeah. The truth is, with the technology we have today, we can help just about everybody have a family. We see single women, we see single men, we see men in same-sex relationships. I know it sounds arrogant to say we can help most people, but we actually can.
An intended parent is the person who is intended to take home the baby at the end of whatever process is required to grow the family. A donor is someone who provides the gamete for the purposes of creating an embryo for an intended parent. A gamete is the cell from either the female ovary, in our case, women, it's eggs, and a gamete in a man's body is a sperm. IVF is in vitro fertilization. It literally means fertilization in glass. The general process of IVF requires the injection of fertility hormones to grow up a bunch of eggs. Those eggs, instead of the woman ovulating them naturally, they get retrieved through the vagina.
Now, what's involved with an egg retrieval is passing an ultrasound probe with a guided needle through the vagina and then into the ovary. And the procedure only takes about 15 minutes in most cases. It is uncomfortable. It's quite uncomfortable for some patients and minimally uncomfortable for others.
So that's the entire process from start to finish. You create the embryos by combining eggs and sperm in a lab. And then once you know which embryo is healthy, you put back one at a time into a uterus to affect pregnancy.
Having gone through egg donation and having children through that process, like, you really want to bring it out of the closet. It's very difficult when you see Hollywood, these women have babies much later in life. It does give a false sense of hope. We know, because we know fertility, that most of these women are using donor egg. Hollywood is a world of youth and image. Using a donor is still very taboo. So many people are kind of in secret about it, haven't told anybody, maybe one person knows. When I first came out to People magazine, the reporters were the ones who came to me and said, "You are the only public figure in the US that has come out about using an egg donor." And it was shocking to me. And also kind of made me second guess for a second. Like, am I doing the right thing? Why are people remaining so quiet about this? We're in this generation of women supporting other women, so why are we not speaking out about this? Why are we not speaking out about infertility and really just erasing the taboo of not being able to get pregnant and speaking the truth about needing to use a donor?
These are needles from about 5 rounds of IVF. I thought it was all of them, but my husband said it wasn't. We did 8 years of IVF, 7 rounds, 4 miscarriages, and we were never offered the option of using donor eggs. The doctor never said it to us, but obviously it was my eggs that were no good. So I just looked online, Facebook, Google, and I came up with like egg donor and surrogate groups. I remember the day I told him about it.
I was like happy the whole time, and I knew this was it. This was gonna be.
He was more sure than me.
This is the time that we're gonna get pregnant. I knew it right away from day one. We go for this. This is it. This is our only chance.
One day, eventually, we'll have a bigger kitchen, right?
We went through about 15 to 20 possible egg donors. We went and asked people that we knew, people that were close friends, and for us, we had to look and look. So we started with the people that were closest to us that said things like, if you ever need anything, just ask. And we got blanked.
There was a few people that said, you know what, I know myself emotionally, I can't do it. As a woman, I get it. Like, you look at that, oh, that's my baby.
We would have given money. I mean, let's be serious.
They're giving us a child. I mean, that's huge.
I'm a registered social worker and I'm working at a youth detox facility. Since donating, I've been pretty open. I've shared with anyone who's willing to listen, and a lot of my friends have wanted to donate as well.
And were you the one that started it all amongst your friend group?
Yeah, I was the first of my friends to donate.
I haven't told anyone in my family or my friends, but I'm slightly worried about maybe what they might think. Have you had any issues with that?
I had one friend, actually, who I'm not friends with anymore. She thought it was so weird and that I'd be like giving away my own kids, and I've never thought of it like that. I feel like people need an egg to have a baby, like you need blood to live. So I think of it in that sense, and I'm just like giving you a piece to help you.
Of every 100 donors that want to be a donor, we only accept between 3 and 8. So most of them will screen out. We want to look at the family history. We want to remove any donor that may have a genetic risk that could be passed on to an offspring. We want to make sure she's psychologically ready to donate. When you donate your eggs, it's not just you're going to go through a retrieval and you'll be done. You're donating for life. We may need to contact her if there's an offspring in 18 or 20 years that wants to know more information.
The way that donors are recruited here in the US are through ads on Craigslist or social media. Sometimes donors are recruited at college. They'll have young women who maybe have been donors before. If they can encourage their friends to consider being donors, then they can earn a referral fee for that.
You do feel like finding a donor is like online dating. My husband and I went out for dinner, and the waitress kind of looked like me. We were both entertaining the idea of actually asking her if she would donate our eggs. And we'll offer you $20,000 if you'll donate your eggs to us. I know that seems absolutely crazy, and it does, but when you're in the thick of it, you kind of will do the craziest things because you think that maybe she's the one.
Probably what makes the US very different from other countries is the fact that donors can be compensated. Most donors in the US are going to make anywhere from $8,000 to, on the very upper end, maybe say $30,000. Some of the highest prices I've seen for egg donors have actually been over $100,000. If someone is going to be earning on that much higher end, it's usually someone who has some very distinctive characteristics.
We haven't looked at her, though.
Mm-mm. So.
We looked international for egg donation as well. So we looked in places like Mexico, South Africa, Czech Republic.
But it came down to Donor Egg Bank USA. We are allowed to choose up to 6 lots of eggs. If we do not have a successful pregnancy, we get 100% of our money back.
So Brazilian, Italian, Spanish American, her complexion isn't that dark. Her egg and your DNA, and it'll offset, it won't be as dark.
See, dress size, shoe size, body frame. I mean, she's 5'4", and I wouldn't mind somebody who's a little bit taller, but it doesn't bother me that much.
U.S. is unlike any other country. We have this tiered market in human eggs where some people are compensated dramatically more than others based upon their traits. Whether they have athletic abilities, whether they're musical or not, speaking other languages or not, advanced degrees or not, and also by race. I've seen some websites where if you go online, you can see the donor rotate on a pedestal and see every aspect of her body.
The world of IVF is divided into 3 different types of jurisdictions. Those that allow IVF and almost commercialize it, an example would be the US. Those that completely prohibit it. And then you have countries in between, like Britain, where they're trying to balance those 2 extremes.
Compensation in Europe is really interesting. It really does have to legally be compensation. Donors can't be paid, it can't be a fee or an inducement. The EU Tissue and Cells Directive prohibits the commercialisation of eggs and sperm. So, for example, in the UK, donors are compensated £750. It's a flat fee. Everybody gets that per cycle.
In Spain, egg donors are paid a flat rate, irrespective of their physical presentation and irrespective of how many eggs they produce. You're compensated also whether you're brown, blue, 6'9", 5'9", it doesn't matter. There's a flat fee for everyone who participates. We don't want determinations about the value of humans determined by how desirable one trait is over another or whether someone will pay more for this or less for that.
I can't lie to you. It's ludicrously expensive to us. This procedure for us to go through this costs essentially the entirety of what I make before taxes. If Shannon gets pregnant off the first time we do the donor egg bank assured, it's $50,000 for 1 try. But if it takes 2 tries, which we're past at this point, then it's $25,000 a try. We've already tried 3 times and it hasn't worked. So by doing the donor egg bank, I've got far more than 4 if I need it.
So max we could have with 36 tries at IVF.
Point is that we're going hard all the way to the end here because we want to get as many tries in as we can. We already had one that was successful all the way up to the implantation, and unfortunately she was stillborn.
Well, how are you feeling about me donating now that it's getting closer?
Pretty, I don't know. I think it's a good thing you're doing for somebody. One of my concerns, I guess, too, with it, in your health, is that, you know, you're gonna do this, yeah, oh, that's great, you know, you're doing something wonderful, and then all of a sudden, 10 years down the road, you have major health concerns from it. So that's kind of, Think about that stuff, I guess. That makes me a little nervous. I don't know. That's why I say it doesn't really bother me now, but I guess down the road I could see it maybe bothering me, you know, if we, and it's selfish, but you know, down the road, if, you know, we try to have kids, we can't. That would almost make me, I guess it would make me resent it, I guess. It's still an amazing thing, I guess, you did.
What do these drugs do?
Typically, a woman produces 1 egg a month, so these drugs allow her to produce 10 to 20.
Sperm donation, it seems to be super easy for a guy. They just go in and they're done. And egg donation is like a 2 to 3 week process overall, just with medication, and then it's probably 3 to 4 months of tests prior to that. Long term, I've noticed more hair loss, hot and cold sweats, sleeping. Never had that before. Period changes, you know, longer cycles. Definitely some acne.
At least the weather there will be nicer a little bit.
Passports. What else do we?
Cash, that's in my wallet.
Are you bringing a bathing suit?
No, it's so cold there. There's not a hot tub at the hotel anyways, so there's a hot tub, I think. I don't think there was there?
I don't think so. Essentially, we've been trying to have a family for about 9 years.
When you first realize that this is the path you're gonna take, you think, okay, well, you know, it's $13,000. We'll save that and we'll be good. No, save $200,000 because it's not likely it's gonna work on the first shot. You might have to do it 7 times, 8 times.
We had to miss out on a lot of things in our life trying to save to go start a family. Just friends' weddings, things like that. We just had to put money away to do IVF.
And then the unfortunate part is there's so many families that aren't as fortunate as we are, or it's not even a chance. Like, there's no hope. Like, you're done. You're just never going to get to experience that because you don't have the means to afford it. We go to Greece now to do it, which is great. It is actually more affordable, the treatment itself, but we actually get a vacation out of it. It makes it easier to go through the process.
One of the reasons why countries like Spain and Greece and the Czech Republic are really popular is that they've done a really good job of marketing themselves as hubs specialising in egg donation. Regulations in those countries mean that there are an abundance of donors. Donors can be anonymous and they can be compensated. Critically, the amount of compensation relative to the cost of living is quite high. So they have more donors than, for example, we have in the UK. So that's where people will go because they have more choice.
My name is Kostas Pantos. I'm the owner and director of Genesis Athens Clinic, a clinic specialized in fertility. My clinic is the largest in Greece. It's one of the 5 largest IVF units in Europe. Greece is a medical tourism destination for various reasons. Nice weather, the islands, tourist attractions, and also because of more relaxed laws. For example, egg donation in Germany is not allowed, so we have a lot of German couples and women coming. It wasn't legal in Italy until lately because of the Catholic Church. I don't find it realistic, really, to tell you the truth. A country in Europe saying we don't allow egg donation when the couple can just go to another nearby country and just do it anyway.
There are a number of countries in Europe and around the world where egg donation is completely banned. Germany is one, Switzerland, Turkey. In India, they closed access to same-sex couples. Where egg donation has been banned outright, it's often because there's a concern about welfare for women that provide eggs. And then there are some countries where laws evolved in conjunction with religious views. Iran is unique in the Muslim world because it permits egg and sperm donation under certain circumstances. Couples can have treatment as long as a temporary marriage is formed between the egg donor and the person providing the sperm, usually the intended father. There's often an interesting mixing of political, religious, cultural will around these decisions, and why we see some countries that just outlaw them altogether.
There's a big stigma around egg donation, so when you bring it up, there's just a fear of other people's reactions. It was definitely scary approaching my family and telling them. My mom had a pretty good reaction. My dad, I expected to have a bad reaction, which, yeah, wasn't the best.
I wasn't for it. And so there was a few arguments that took place. She's pretty strong-headed. She was going to do it anyway. I said, first thing first, though, I bet you're doing it for the money. And she said, no, I'm not. What I was thinking, this was an easy way to make a quick buck.
Canada is an example of a country that takes extreme measures of criminalizing payment beyond remuneration to egg donors in order to regulate assisted human reproduction.
The law in Canada is if I pay an egg donor or a sperm donor anything, so even $100, it's punishable by up to 10 years in jail and or $500,000. If I incite genocide, I think it's only punishable by up to 5 years in jail.
The irony of the law is it's not illegal to pay someone in the States for egg or sperm, so people just get around it by purchasing eggs from other countries.
We have no egg banks in Canada. We completely rely on egg banks from outside of Canada. 80% of all donor ova used in Canada are now imported from the United States. To some extent, you could say we are creating Canadians out of American DNA because we are importing so much of our reproductive material from the United States.
Katie? Yeah. Is it okay if we come in? Yeah. Okay, thanks. I'm just gonna start out with asking you some questions. Any past surgeries for you?
No, other than the other egg retrievals.
Okay, and this is our
sixth.
So there's 2 extra strength Tylenol, those are the 2 white ones, 2 Celebrex, those are non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, and a gabapentin. Those will all help with pain that you might have throughout the course of the day. And then the little orange one is Gravel that prevents any type of nausea that you may have.
Okay.
And then the little white one over there is Ativan to help you relax. Perfect. Breakfast.
Breakfast champions, eh?
That's right. Miss Caitlin, here comes some medications for you.
Okay.
This is fentanyl.
Katie, I'm passing the needle now. I'll tell you when the hurty bit's about to happen, okay? Right now, Katie.
Ooh.
Well done, Katie. Well done.
We have our first egg. 4 eggs.
Oh.
Sorry, Katie.
That's okay.
You're such a trooper. It's coming through red. Stop. 16. Stop.
Katie, we're all done.
Wow.
Yay,
Perfect.
you did it.
As brave as a lion.
Yes.
Thank you. I think it went pretty good. 19 eggs is really good. It's a healthy number.
It is a healthy number.
Over 20, you're at risk for OHSS. So that's the overstimulation of your ovaries. And the fluid just gets stuck in there. Sometimes people get cysts, troubles breathing. It can be really serious. It's a healthy number for the donor.
Katie was just wondering, she wanted to talk to you maybe later about her own fertility and having an appointment with you about possibly freezing some eggs because she's done now 6 donations. So
of course.
she's just a little bit worried about if she wanted to have a family, and she got a little bit teary. So
Of course, let's talk about that, Katie.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Well, we mentioned it a little bit before, but I think it's something I've thought more about.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not overly crier.
That's okay. It's the medication. Yeah, don't worry.
Medication makes you very emotional too.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Whenever we put a needle in the body or make an incision in the body, the risks are infection, bleeding, and damage to internal organs. It should not have any long-term effects on her fertility. As far as we know, there are no long-term effects on health, such as cardiovascular disease, various forms of cancer. The main cancers we worry about, which may be influenced by fertility drugs and egg donation, are breast and ovarian cancer. And at this stage, there's no evidence that there is an increased risk of ovarian and breast cancer from being an egg donor.
Absence of evidence does not equal absence of risk. We really can't know what that risk is until we collect the evidence and gather the data in order to be able to assess it.
There is a debate about conflicts of interest. There are huge amounts of money at stake, and then it's a question of, are these treatments in the best interests of the patients and certainly of donors?
In the United States, for example, I've had donors tell me they've been stimulated to produce 50 to 80 eggs in a single cycle. And at the same time, I do have a number of egg donors who have gone well beyond the 6 egg donation cycles. Some clinics say 10 is okay. I've had donors go as high as 19 cycles. When somebody's being paid $10,000 a cycle and they have $200,000 worth of student loan debt, is that ethical?
Looking really good. Got lots of nice follicles there.
It took a long time to develop the technology to freeze eggs. Everyone knew that this was going to change the industry irrevocably.
Eggs particularly used to be very difficult to freeze because the egg is the largest and most sophisticated cell in the human body, and it's got a large amount of water. And when you freeze anything with water in it, water forms ice crystals. So freezing eggs by slow freezing was very unsuccessful and inefficient. So the whole paradigm has shifted from slow freezing and slow thawing to flash freezing. The fluid goes from fluid to solid in a nanosecond.
When they were finally able to freeze eggs, younger women saw the opportunity to preserve their fertility irrespective of any underlying medical condition. When I started in this industry, there was a lot of discomfort that women would take control over their reproduction that way.
In 2005, less than 500 women in the United States froze their eggs, whereas in 2018, over 10,000 women froze their eggs. It does empower women almost in the same way as the evolution of the birth control pill allowed women to almost dictate when they were going to become pregnant. It should be considered a form of insurance for the future. 50% of women never actually come back to use their eggs. Yeah, because they've actually met someone and they've now been able to create a family through more natural means. So this is literally insurance. So it depends on what you want to take as a risk, both financial risk, emotional risk, physical risk.
Is egg freezing the solution for every woman? No. It's not the killer app. It doesn't fix everything. So it's complicated, like everything else in this industry.
I think there was a good 5-year period where I was never not on IVF medication. We went to a fertility clinic when I was 38 or just turning 38, 20 embryo implantations, and nothing. I had already been flirting with the idea of using a donor. I think for me, one of the hardest parts of accepting using an egg donor was the fact that I was so married to my genetics that I didn't know how to let that go. Grieving the loss of what that meant to me was really hard.
It's the back of the head.
So when do you guys leave for your trip?
Sunday.
You all ready?
No.
Is this still the same donor then?
Yeah.
So do you get to like select your egg donor? Yeah, we sent like a profile on us and pictures of us and like our details like height, eye color and hair color, and they select what they think is a good match. And we went with the first one they sent because she sounded great. So
Yeah.
only thing I was disappointed with is she has blue eyes and I have green eyes. But green eyes are rare, so.
So it's not like they find or they send you?
We have
No.
idea what
and
the
it's
donor
anonymous
looks like.
there,
Yeah,
so
it's
we don't
completely
actually see
anonymous.
pictures of her. But I actually kind of think that it's great to not know because I would always see her in it, in the baby.
Yeah.
Right? So now, like, I won't know what she looks like. So for me personally, I'm kind of relieved to not know what she looks like.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it has a point.
I think the hard part though is that if the baby ends up wanting to find out its heritage, we have no idea. We can't be like, well, go, here's this email address of this person that is your technically biological mother.
No matter how much you want to say donor in this, it's still yours.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
genetics are genetics. I mean, it is
Yeah.
what it is. It just makes it, and then the family, the love, it has nothing to do with it. For now, it made sense.
Yeah.
That's good.
International standards vary from country to country. In Greece and Spain, all egg donation is anonymous. In many countries, children who are conceived by egg donation have no legal access to information about their genetic mother or possible donor siblings, even as the rise of direct-to-consumer genetic testing has made anonymity near impossible.
Being completely anonymous is now a myth because we have, 23andMe and Ancestry.com. People are able to find genetic links pretty easily. There's a possibility that someday your child may want to find their siblings out there, donor siblings.
There are no international legal standards to limit the number of children born from a single egg donor. The American Society for Reproductive Medicine advises women limit egg donation to 6 cycles.
Sometimes there are women that do try to kind of game the system, and they may try to do many more cycles. But there's no way to really track that because there's not like a CODIS system that, like ding, 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 we've seen these eggs before.
Spain has a registry, so egg donors do not produce more than 6 live births in a single geographical area. So she can have 6 in Spain, 6 in France, 6 in the UK, for example. They are at least tracking that information.
Lots of countries don't have laws around egg donation and the number of times that women can donate. Lots of countries tend to follow the American model of 6 cycles, but that's not in any way uniform, and of course there are lots of places where those rules aren't followed.
In this process of conceiving through assisted reproduction, the focus is so much on just getting pregnant that others fall out of the equation, including the egg donors and the eventual children born from those egg donors. They often feel very sidelined and marginalized because nobody thought about how this would impact them.
I found out when I was 8 that I was a test tube baby, as my mum put it then. And then I was about 14 or 15 when I found out that this was through egg donation. When parents are going through it, it's very much about them and how they feel. I think they should always know that it becomes about the child then, and it's not about their feelings about it, so they just have to let their child process it in their own way, in their own time, and that's not always easy. Every donor-conceived person should be told about where they came from and what it took to make them, bring them into the world.
Little penguin. That's so cute. We'll have to come do a whole closet shop.
To be shopping for that kind of stuff.
So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be performing the embryo transfer. We're going to be performing a blood test on the 30th of January. And if on that day we are pregnant, we'll be about 4 weeks pregnant.
Okay.
So fingers crossed.
She is awake.
She is? How you feeling?
Waking up and realizing that they're in there is overwhelming.
You're technically pregnant. Yeah.
Technically pregnant right now.
Should I do slow-mo or just video? Video.
So you want to do it here?
Yeah, with the water behind us.
Oh, with the water.
Nothing's coming out?
No.
Ah! Gonna go say hi to Lisa, and I'm really excited to see her because I haven't seen her in a while, and this will be Paul's first time meeting her.
First
so
time
it's kind of cool.
I wasn't really sure I was gonna do it, but then I said, let's go for it. She helped us get what we wanted so bad, which is having a baby. So.
How many times have you done this? Like, I couldn't remember because we had talked a while ago.
Right, you have to say it in a weird thing,
Yeah,
otherwise you can't.
I remembered it and then I forgot.
2 sets of twins, 9 babies total, and 2 babies are mine.
9 babies and there's twins. There's a set of twins.
Two
and
sets those
of
9. Twins.
2 sets of twins.
Yes.
What are they like? Were they all mostly white, or was there like
no. So
I just want to have an idea what kind of siblings is he gonna have?
So the boys
What
are
mixes?
Caucasian and Chinese. They're a set of twins.
Really?
Yep. Yep.
That's so cool.
Their dads are.
See, it's good to
Yeah,
know this.
right?
'Cause
Yeah. One of our biggest questions was, what kind of relationship do you want moving forward with our child, with us? And she was totally like, it's up to you. Once I give you my eggs, this is yours and your decision to make. And so to me, what I would ideally like is to have her in our lives. I want our son to know what she did for us, how grateful we are. I'm just like so grateful that we met. Okay, I'll do it. And then that's my message to say if we can do it. I'm about to make a call to find out if we're pregnant or not. And I'm really nervous because I'm really scared it's gonna be no.
Hey, babe.
Hi.
Want me to hit call?
Hello, Brittany. How are you?
Nervous? How are you?
I'm good. It's nice you're not, I'm afraid. It's negative.
Oh.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I wanted to give you the good news, but...
I know.
No, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'm going back right away.
More of the patients we see do not have a successful pregnancy than do have a successful pregnancy. A significant percentage of our patients are in their 40s. So on average, I see between 1 and 3 patients having a miscarriage every single morning. And dealing with that bad news is very difficult. And some days are more difficult than others. So when we have good news, it really makes up for the bad news.
Egg donation is so expensive. People will go again and again and again for treatment.
You know the drill, I'm just gonna tell you again.
People bankrupt themselves in order to have a family.
We create a lot of eggs through hyperstimulation, and we create a lot of embryos from as many viable eggs as we can to increase the number of possible viable embryos. And then we use a fraction of those to get people pregnant, and then we have all these excess embryos. And, you know, with due respect to the fertility industry, there are a lot of embryos that are frozen in storage, in the millions of embryos. Some of them have never been claimed, have been abandoned, and these cryopreservation storage devices fill clinics. There are probably in excess of 1 million embryos across North America, in fact into Europe, that may never ever be used. And there are people who cannot have children, who wish to have children, who would benefit perhaps from having access to some of those embryos.
Yep. Hi. Hi. So there were 6 eggs that were received. We've thought all 6 eggs, all of them survived. All of them fertilized. And so you have a beautiful textbook quality expanded blastocyst today.
Okay, awesome.
It's a 4A. There's nothing better than that. This is the day we were all waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, perfect.
It is.
Okay, are you ready to see your little one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And eyes on the prize. Okay. All right.
It does, it does.
All right.
If you want to hold my hand, you want to know, okay?
Okay, all set.
I'm loading 1 day 5 blastocyst.
Perfect, thank you.
Tiffany Shannon, 1 day 5 blastocyst. She's trying to get the
Embryo?
embryo in. And she's got it.
Well, that's a bit better there.
Bring it here. And load it.
Beautiful.
Perfect. All right, so Zencriti's just checking under the microscope to make sure that embryo did not stick.
Okay, all clear.
Perfect. Suspection's coming out.
You did great.
Thank you. That was
Okay.
much quicker than the last one, so this is great.
So this is the picture that we get to take at the very end. So what you can see here is a beautiful bright spot of light in the middle, and that's where that embryo went. So that's for you guys, baby's first picture.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I don't think so. We've been here just a few too many times before, but yeah. This is the last time, Kayla.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's do it, okay?
Baby's first picture. That's what she said, right? The thing that gets me out of it is that he's just a speck of light in a mass of darkness.
Okay. Hi! How are you? Say hi. Wave, Daisy. Say hi, Daisy. Wave with Katie.
Can you believe she's already won?
Yeah, that's crazy.
She's not saying too many words just yet. She's more like she can do high five and she can do cheers and she can clap. Can you show Katie how to clap?
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie.
I was super excited for her. You could just hear it in her voice how excited they were. The way they talk about how their life's changed since having her, it was just happiness, I guess.
Which one do you want? Do you want one of these?
My truth is not, I couldn't get pregnant, or I'm ashamed that I couldn't get pregnant. My truth is this woman, some stranger out there gave me the most beautiful gift of life, and I wouldn't have him today if it weren't because of her. I'm also speaking out for my son. My dream is for this to be such a normal topic that he won't have to feel any shame in his story.
Family to me is bigger than biology. It's not a who you share blood with, it's who you share time with and who you share growing up with. Ultimately, what is it that makes us who we are? Is that biology? Is that who's around you? Is it nature? Is it nurture? Those are the questions, and my answer to it is make your own answers. I am a donor-conceived person, but that's not the only thing I am.
Kiss and a hug. Thank you. You're so little.
He's so tiny. Oh, he's so tiny. Tiny little baby. Look, I'm getting so